All right, guys, what is going on? My name is Pipe Bomb City, and welcome to my review of the Raw that has officially kicked off the new era. And it was pretty fucking good, guys. My name is Pipe Bomb City. Be sure to check out my Instagram at Pipe Bomb City. Be sure to subscribe, like, and comment on this video. I'm starting a new series, in case you didn't know. It's called Raw vs. SmackDown. You might have heard of it in a video game, I don't know, before. But this is my edition of it. You know, I'm going to be doing every single week. I'm going to come on here. Every week that I can, I'm going to be comparing Raw to SmackDown. Since it's a new era and Vince wanted competition, better ratings, I'm going to be giving my opinion on which one had the better show. And instead of my rants and reviews that go on for 20 plus minutes, it's going to be short and sweet. And I'm just going to be deciding who had the better show for that week, you know? The first episode is going to be airing this week. We still got to wait for SmackDown. You know, that's tonight, and I'm really looking forward to it. And I can't. I sound kind of excited here because this Raw, I really wanted to talk about this. I wanted to make a review for Battleground, and that's what I came on here to do. But then I thought, you know what, dude, Raw was just so good, really. So that's my decision. I decided to come on here, and I'm making a Raw review instead of Battleground. Battleground, let me go over that real quick. It was an all right pay-per-view. You know, the Shield triple threat and Sammy versus Kevin was fucking amazing. The mid-card title matches were huge disappointments, you know, and just Bailey. Bailey was the mystery partner, and they got me. I literally came on this predictions video, and I talked about it for like 5 minutes straight, and I was like, oh, it's not it can't be Bailey, you know, but it was Bailey. She's not officially on the main roster for everyone who's saying, oh, she's going to fight Charlotte, and oh, she'll go to SmackDown, and oh, no, she's not doing any of that. She's still in NXT, I believe, but she came for that one night, and it was just amazing. I loved it. Battleground, I'm going to have to give it like a 7 out of 10. You know, it was average. There were some really good matches and moments, but there were some really bad matches and moments. The biggest disappointment was probably disappointment. You know, there were some bad things, but disappointment meaning that, like, a very high thing, a very positive thing that everyone was looking forward to going down. That was probably the highlight reel. Getting into this Raw review, though, all right, honestly, this was the start of the new era. Finally, they set it for Payback and Extreme Rules and Money in the Bank. They said at Battleground, oh, this is the new era. The new era has started officially tonight, and if this is true, I fucking love it. Raw last night was just purely amazing. You know, I don't know how SmackDown is going to top it off, okay? And now, I'm not trying to come on here and make it sound like this is the greatest show ever. There were some flaws, but seeing how great everything was, you know, because there's a new stage, a new logo, a new intro. They finally get our actual rock song, which is amazing. There's title changes. There's storylines that make sense. There's matches and main events that make sense. They have people getting over. They have good promos, good matches, and the best part, in my opinion, this didn't feel like a 3-hour show where you had 20 segments and you just had to go, oh, what's next? It's boring. This has given me interest in wrestling. Of course, I love wrestling. I love pro wrestling. But this is really spiking my interest, you know, because before it's like, oh, here we go with Raw. I can't wait to see what shit we got tonight. But this is it. This is such a great opportunity for a great new start, you know, because now this is it. The new logo, the new roster, the new fucking everything. Corey Graves. Oh, my God. He's finally on the main roster, and it's amazing, guys. And I have so much to talk about, you know. Oh, my God. It was just... oh, God. Okay. But part of me is saying, okay, you said this before. Because, of course, Raw has pulled off good episodes before, and then they go right back to shit. The reason I'm not going to believe that that's the case is because, you know, this is it, man. This is the new start. I've been saying new like 20 times. They're only like less than 5 minutes in this video. But you get what I'm saying. You know, I think this is a great opportunity. I love the idea and the fact that WWE has no competition, so they built it within themselves. I really don't know how SmackDown is going to top this, you know? Oh, my God, dude, honestly. But overall, the show, I thought it was pretty good, you know? There are some people who are complaining about it. Not too many. I've seen very little people, and the ones that I have, they're like, I didn't like Raw as much as all these other people fanboying over it, but it was still good. You know, I really haven't seen anyone, I really haven't, who's like, Raw was bad last night. And it's just great how just, oh my God. But getting into the actual review instead of me fucking obsessing over this Raw, okay? First of all, we kicked off the show, as I said, with a new opener, a new intro, which is great. It was by Shinedown Enemies. I love that song. I've literally been listening to it the past 30 minutes. I've been preparing for some videos. Oh, my God. Such a good song. And I like how it was from like 2012. So WWE, they did their research before, you know, but whatever. The new logo looks great. It reminds me of like the 2005 Raw, you know, but that's fine, you know. And then we kicked off the night with pretty much the new stage, and you got Mick Foley, the GM, and Stephanie McMahon, the commissioner, out there, and they're like, welcome to Monday Night Raw, the new era. They bring out the whole roster then, you know, and it's all looking good so far, you know. And then they're saying 2 matches tonight, 2 fatal 4-way matches. The winner of those matches will compete in the main event, and the winner of that will face Seth Rollins at SummerSlam for our new Raw Championship. I'm like, holy shit. They're bringing back the world title, maybe. It's not the world title. It was apparently bigger than the world. It is the WWE Universal Championship. And immediately when they said that, I was like, what? I didn't take them seriously, you know, because the voice cracked. I didn't take them seriously because the Universal, and I know that names really don't matter, you know, but the Universal Championship, and I get it because, oh, the WWE Universe, and oh my God, but I mean, yeah, I don't know. And you know what, man, I'm not really gonna hate on it too much. I mean, what name is there, you know? I honestly wouldn't want to see the world title come back because, you know, that's title it's done with. I'd like to. I said before I wanted to see a new title, but it's not going to be bothered. It's not really going to bother me a week from now, you know. But the winner of tonight's main event was going to face Seth Rollins, the man, the #1 draft pick for Raw at SummerSlam for the Universal title. I'm like, holy shit, a main event that makes sense, and it's not just a 6-man tag. Whew, that's good. I like that, you know. We had the first Fatal 4-Way match, which is actually the first match. It was going to be Kevin Owens, Cesaro, Rusev, and Finn Balor. And I was like, oh, boy, yes. You know, I thought he was going to win one. You know, I'll get into that in a minute. And then the second Fatal 4-Way match was Chris Jericho, Sheamus, Roman Reigns, and Sami Zayn. All right. So I was like, okay, what I thought they might do before I really got a chance to think about it, I thought they were just going to do Kevin wins one and Sami wins one. But then the more I thought about it, when all the opponents came out for the first Fatal 4-Way match, you know, I was like, all right, I think Balor has a pretty damn good chance of winning this. And then I looked at who was left. You know, you got Jericho, Sheamus, Sami, and Reigns. And I said, Sami versus Balor would be fucking amazing. But I don't think they're going to do that. It's got to be Reigns. I was right. Reigns won the second Fatal 4-Way match, which I'll get into in a little bit here. And Balor won the first one. And holy shit, what a match it was. I really liked the first one. The second one was all right. You know, it was pretty good. But the first one I loved. It was such a good match. We got Cesaro in there. You got Owens in there. You got Balor. You got Rusev. It's all my guys. So I'm like, these guys deserve an opportunity. And here they fucking are. The roster split in half. 50% chance of bigger opportunities, you know? I thought it was great. You know, I really thought it was a great match. Balor ended up winning, though. And I was pretty shocked. You know, I thought it was a great move. Literally, this guy was pushed to the limit, you know, on the first night, which I'll get into by the end of this video because I'm talking about the main event last year. But it was just such a good match. I really don't have anything to complain about that. I'm not really going to go in order of what happened. I really don't remember the order of things, but I believe that Nia Jax came out next, all right, for her debut. And I was like, all right, that's pretty good. And she comes out against the Jobber, and she does a squash match. And really, I usually complain about those. But for this, I'm really not, you know, because it's a great chance to show, like, holy shit, this woman is going to kick some ass because that's what they're going for. The giant lady ass kicker. You know, we've never seen anything like her before, they kept on saying. They said that so many times, you know, and I like that, you know. We had 2 squash matches tonight, which usually pisses me off. but they did it in a way where I was pretty happy with it. So Nia gets the win over some random chick, you know, and it just character building, because when she was going for the pin, she let her up and then did that devastating leg drop, and I was like, holy shit, that's gonna break her neck. I don't know how anyone could do that. You know, a giant ass woman, Steven Universe reference, leg dropping on the net. It just looked brutal, man. It looked brutal. She was like half her fucking size too. So Nia gets the win. Character development brings her up in the rankings. I was pretty happy with it. Again, man, you know, I was just you know what, for Nia, I think it's an interesting situation because usually people don't like people like her. And that's kind of the case. I'm seeing everyone going, oh, Nia Jax. Oh, my God. Oh, she's going to get pushed to the limit and back. And it just, I didn't really see that, you know. But whatever. You know, everyone's complaining about her. I really don't mind her. It's character development. I appreciate anything I can get, you know. Pretty much what happened up next, we had the next Fatal 4-Way match, which I thought would come a lot later in the night. But it made sense to me, you know. They're competing in the main event. You got to have them close together pretty much. Just give them time. And that's what happened. You know, I think we were about at the 1 hour mark. And we had Roman Reigns defeating Sami Zayn, Chris Jericho, and Sheamus. And now he is going to face Finn Balor for the opportunity to face Seth Rollins for the Universal title. I know it sounds like it didn't make a lot of sense, but really when you look at it, it was just so, it made sense for a main event instead of having random shit. It was so good, you know, because it was actually story building. It actually got guys to show what they're made of, and it was really good, you know. This match, I didn't think it was good as the first one, you know, but it was still a good match. Not much to say other than that. You know, everyone looked great in this. Up next, we had Neville defeat, what did they call Mr. Irrelevant? Yes, Mr. Irrelevant. I guess they go from Mr. Perfect, the father and the Hall of Famer, to Mr. Irrelevant, the jobber. Yeah, all right then. You know, so Neville actually returned here. I was just so, this was one of the downs for me of the night. Okay, they put on a pretty good match. They let Curtis act. He's doing his own thing now, which again, some of you guys probably know how I feel about this. Whenever they have guys like Damian Sandow and Bo Dallas, I was a huge fan of them, but then when WWE takes it and they ruin them, it's very hard for me to get behind them. Some of these people out here, they're like, oh, yeah, I love Sandow, I love Dallas. I don't understand how they do it, because it's like every time I love those guys, you know, but then when I think about what they've done and they just shitty gimmicks and they ruined it and the potential that was there gone, I can't get behind him. And that's the same with Curtis Axel. You know, I was a huge Curtis Axel fan when he had that fucking Intercontinental title run and he was going against like Triple H and CM Punk. A lot of people have mixed feelings about that, mostly negative, but I thought it was good things, you know, and I did like Curtis. For someone who just randomly jumped in the business, I thought it was a great worker, you know. Apparently, that is not how everyone else felt, and apparently that's not how people backstage felt, and because as soon as that Intercontinental title reign ended, he was just gone off the maps. Job Squad City, you know. But never mind. He's Mr. Irrelevant now. He's got this whole new gimmick if you want to call it that. And it's fine, you know. So Neville comes back, and this is what the letdown was for me. It wasn't the match. It wasn't Curtis Axel. It was Neville himself, because I was a huge fan of Neville, but now I'm really not. I've lost interest, you know. I guess I was a huge fan of him before WrestleMania, but then he got injured. He comes back, and there's nothing different. Same music, same Titantron. He wears that fucking cape. He has a beard now, you know, but there's nothing different about him, and that's what I really hate. You know, so Neville is off my top 15 wrestlers, off my top 10, whatever. You know, maybe top 15 because of just how good he is in the ring. But really, as Vince McMahon says, if the character is not there, the interest is not there, and that's what I got to say here. You know, great talent, but there really wasn't anything there for Neville. You know, I was more interested in fucking Curtis Axel in the match, you know, but whatever, man. Neville beats Curtis Axel. And then we have the New Day celebration. Sony Boy was there. They pull some guy out of the ring. Okay, before that, New Day comes out. 338 days now. as tag team champions, and they come out there. They're there to celebrate, you know, the record-breaking title reign. And they're like, oh, yeah, let's get someone from the crowd. I'm like, you know, I thought it was setting up for an attack, which I guess in the long run it was, but I thought they were going to pick, like, some guy out in the crowd, and he was, like, wearing a hoodie, and they, like, unveil it, and it's like, oh, it's, like, Luke Gallows or somebody, and they just knock the shit out of him. That's not what happened. They pick out Sonny Boy, I don't know, Sonny Boy, and it was, that guy had fucking more character than Neville. He was fucking great. It was hilarious. And then Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson come out. They're on their own, away from the clique. I mean the club. It's AJ Styles, but they're still doing their own thing, which is great. You know, of course they would. We were fucking drafted together. You know, what am I saying? I'm calling them the clique, and never mind. Okay. So they come out there, attack the New Day. I thought it was pretty good. You know, they're probably going to be facing for the tag team titles at SummerSlam, which is great. You know, New Day finally got their title reign, and I said a while back, once New Day hits that title reign, I'd like to see some new champions. New Day is fucking great, but unless they, I don't know, you know, unless a miracle happens, I'd really like to see a new champ. I'm fine with the New Day. I love the New Day's champs. I love them all together, you know, but I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised, and I wouldn't be mad if Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson win the titles. You know, again, I'm fine with New Day. I don't really care if they're champions for fucking 5 more years, you know, but if Gallows and Anderson win the titles, I don't really mind it, you know. I don't know, you know, but it was overall a pretty good segment. You know, apparently Bootios are going to be an official fucking cereal in stores coming soon, and I can't wait for that. I'm going to be eating Bootios all day. Anyone who does not watch WWE, I get to walk up to people now. Anyone who doesn't watch WWE, once that cereal comes out, hey man, I just ate a shit ton of booty for breakfast, and it's gonna sound fucking awesome / strange, but still doesn't fucking matter. I eat my Bootios. I make sure I ain't booty. Up next, though, we had something that completely wasn't booty. It was the fucking one of the best things I've ever seen. We had Sasha Banks versus Charlotte in a holy shit match. Because first of all, this actually makes sense. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I loved the most pretty much about Raw. Other than the fact that it didn't even feel like 3 hours because everything made sense. Everything was fit in perfectly. I'll get into that by the end of the video if I haven't already said it. But, shit, what was I talking about? Okay, yeah, okay. Making sense. This makes sense because, first of all, Sasha Banks. Okay, I'm just going to call it. Sasha made Charlotte tap out. So, of course, holy shit. She deserves a title shot, you know? It makes sense. And it did make sense because then she comes out here and she gets a women's title match against Charlotte. It makes sense. If she makes the champ tap out, she should get a title shot. And that's just what happened. And then, as you can see on the left of your screen, Sasha is the new women's champion. And it was just, even the people that hate Sasha, you got to get a warm spot because it was just such a good moment. I heard backstage she was FaceTiming Bayley, and they're like, oh, they're crying together. And it was just, oh, my God. But let's talk about the actual match before I get into that. Charlotte is just a badass heel. At the beginning of the night when Stephanie called her forward, she just, oh, my God, she's just absorbed this character, and I love it. But the match itself was so good, you know. It's the longest women's match I've seen on the main roster in a long-ass time, you know, because it was like, I don't know exactly how long it was, but it had to be at least like 20 minutes or something, you know, because it was such a long match. It was a really good match. It was all storytelling. I really enjoyed it, you know, and then Sasha comes out in the win. I love it. You know, it's not SummerSlam, but I think it might have been better. It made a huge impact for Raw, you know, the new era, new fucking champion. We do what we want, says WWE Creator. And I thought that was great, you know. Sasha's the new champ. I'm so happy she was getting you deserve a chance. She was getting the yes chance. It was just, oh, my God. The crowd was really into it. I was really into it. Again, though, I'm just so happy because it was such a long match, you know. I thought earlier with Nia Jax, I'm like, oh, God, it's a squash match, and they're probably going to make the other one a shitty finish, too. But it wasn't. It was fucking 20 or more minutes of just pure women's wrestling, and it was so good. The characters were played well. Everything that was going on was pretty good, you know? And then when Dana got kicked out of ringside. I lie, I cheat, I steal. Sasha Banks. I loved it. You know, I just saw the perfect story, the perfect ending to be continued at SummerSlam. I hope she has a great reign. You know, getting into what happened next. These were the two funny segments here, even though they're not really supposed to be funny. In my opinion, I thought they were pretty funny though. We had James Ellsworth, apparently. I have no idea who that is. I don't know if he's a fucking indie guy. I don't know if it's just some name. It sounds like a name WWE would make up. If this is just some jobber, I believe it is. Well, this is him. James Ellsworth made his WWE debut, and he lost and got squashed to Braun Strowman. Holy shit. Braun Strowman, I like this because he's got a whole new gimmick now. Well, it's not really a gimmick yet. We don't know what it is, you know, but he's got a whole new intro, Titantron thing, whatever. I don't really like the song, you know. I don't really like the Titantron. I don't understand the gimmick yet. I'm gonna give it time though, you know. I hope it's just not like an even bigger Ryback where he's just like, until months, he's just this big guy who just comes out there and he squashes people. You know, I hope that's not it. I don't think it is though, you know. But this was a squash match. And I said earlier I was happy with the two squash matches here tonight, and I was. This really made Strowman look like a fucking beast. He clotheslined and slapped the hell out of this poor guy. And then on the way, Byron was interviewing this guy while he's in the ring, and Strowman's walking down, and this guy's like, oh, I knew I was going to make my debut, but I didn't think it was going to be against this guy. And it was just hilarious, and he looked like a little bitch, and it was so funny, honestly. He just gets crushed and made Strowman look good. I don't know what the gimmick is yet. I think it's just big, meaty, huge guy who beats the shit out of people, but I don't know. I guess he's not crazy anymore. I guess as soon as you leave Bray Wyatt, you're just not crazy, but I guess that's how it works. I'm happy though. You know, I'm happy he's doing his own thing. I do like Strowman a lot more than Eric Rowan, but I wouldn't say I like him more than Bray Wyatt. You know, here's the thing. Rowan has the good character. Wyatt has a good character. He's good in the mic and in the ring, and Strowman is just this dominant beast, you know? So, I don't know. Just, they're all split up, moving on their own. Moving on, in this video, we have Enzo Amore and Big Cass defeat the Shining Stars in what is a interesting match. They come out there hot off of last night, you know, making a promo. The Shining Stars interrupts them. They're literally just dead already, honestly. You know, they come out there. They're trying to do this whole little shtick going on there, and it doesn't work. Just pretty fast match because R-Truth and Goldust come in the middle of the ring playing Pokemon Go, and I love how much WWE is embracing Pokemon Go. They have it on Xavier Woods' YouTube channel, Up, Up, Down, Down. They've been talking about it, honestly. They did a segment backstage. They did two of them with Bob Backlund and Sasha Banks with Golden Truth. I thought it was pretty funny. I really wasn't a big fan of Golden Truth, but, I mean, I wouldn't say they're growing on me, but I'm learning to accept it, you know. If that's their role, they're going to be the wacky Edge and Christians, except they don't win anything. I'm fine with that, you know. At least it's making them relevant. But they came in the middle of the ring in the match. Primo Rabico, I really don't give a shit, gets distracted. 1, 2, 3, Enzo Amore and Big Cass win. Now we're on to the main event. Holy shit. This match, pretty damn good. It was pretty damn good. We had a lot of good matches tonight, man. We had the first Fatal 4-Way, the second Fatal 4-Way. We had this match, and then we had the women's title match. Jesus Christ, that's amazing, you know? There were more good matches here tonight than there are on fucking NXT a night. But here we are, man. Finn Balor defeats Roman Reigns to advance to the WWE Universal Championship match at SummerSlam. Oh my God. If this guy is not being pushed to the moon, I don't know how else you do it. With Paige, she won the Divas title on the first night, but look at her now. Not really doing anything relevant. Her title reign wasn't good. Blah, blah, blah. You know, you could say, oh, that was being pushed to the moon, winning a championship on your first night. That's not being pushed to the moon. No one knows who you are, and you just won a title. That was bad. Okay, but this is how you book. because, of course, they built him up to look strong as hell. In the draft, he was in the top 5. You know, they were saying all week, like, oh, this guy from NXT, oh my God, he's great. They said it tonight how good he is from NXT, and he was just such a great talent, the longest reigning champion. And I find it funny how Balor, the longest reigning NXT champion, is going to take on Seth Rollins at SummerSlam, the first ever NXT champion. I think it's amazing, you know, shows how far NXT could take you. Jesus Christ, you know? And they were building him up. They have him defeat Owens, Cesaro, and Rusev, some top-ass mid-carders. And then he comes out and beats Roman Reigns clean as a whistle. Oh, my God, dude. I understand. It's all part of Reigns' punishment. He gets suspended. He owns it, you know, and blah, blah, blah. And then he gets bashed on by Stephanie McMahon. He gets bashed on by Seth Rollins. He loses clean at Money in the Bank. He loses clean at Battleground, and he loses clean to Finn Balor. Oh, my God. You know, it's a dream come true for me because I hate this guy, you know, but oh, my God. But still, you know, it was a great match. Balor wins. Reigns was talking at the end of the match, like, I hope he kicks Seth's ass because I respect him, and I hope he becomes the new Universal Champion. That's a good way to get pushed to the moon. I have no idea who's going to win at SummerSlam. I don't know if Lesnar or Randy's going to win, who also Lesnar is appearing next week on Raw, which is going to be amazing. I can't wait for that. He's finally coming back. I heard rumors that he wasn't going to appear until SummerSlam, and it was just going to be kind of like a fight. You know, you don't show up, and then you show up for that fight. There's no promos and shit, you know, but he is. He's actually appearing. I don't know if Paul Heyman is there. There hasn't been any mention of Paul Heyman, really. He's been in the video packages, but he wasn't on the little screen that popped up saying, Lesnar returns next week. I've been hearing rumors that his contract is expired and he's not signing again, so I don't know what that's about, but Lesnar without Heyman is like peanut butter and jelly sandwich without the bread and the peanut butter and the jelly. You know, Lesnar's a great talent in the ring. He's phenomenal in the ring. He's just a beast of a man. But really, though, without Heyman on the mic, it's like Neville, you know? So pretty much, though, he'll be coming back next week. And again, though, and even more unpredictable than Randy and Lesnar, which I really don't know yet, you know? You have Balor and Rollins. Here's this guy, Seth Rollins. And this is a perfect situation for Rollins because throughout all his time so far, yeah, he's been the man. He's won everything there is to win pretty much. If you look at it, it's like everyone's looking at him like he's still not a top guy. You know, he's still the rookie just trying to make a name for himself. With him being the #1 draft pick, with him just being phenomenal, you know, like everyone knows he is, and when everyone's starting to realize how good this guy is, how much history he's already made, I was reading something earlier on Instagram. I can't remember what, but it was like, I saw 5 things. He was like the first ever this, and the first ever that, and the first ever this, and the first ever that. And I was like, wow, dude. And that's what they're doing. So Seth Rollins is now, he's not the undisputed future. He's the man. And Finn Balor is the future. And I think that's great because Rollins is here. I think him finally facing a lot of a younger, that was phrased weird. I think him facing this younger guy is a great opportunity because now he is the John Cena and Finn Balor is the Seth Rollins. And I think that's amazing. You know, it was the opposite of last year's SummerSlam when Cena versus Rollins, and now you have Rollins versus Balor, the passing of the torch. I don't know who's going to win this match. Rollins could because he first ever Universal Championship for champion, you know? And he could truly establish himself as the face of Raw. And then you got Finn Balor, this young upcoming guy. And honestly, who needs the title more? I got to go with Seth. Because this guy's already getting pushed to the moon. He's already a top guy, and he's been here for one night. I mean, seriously. He's beaten Jericho, Zayn, Sheamus, Reigns, Owens, Cesaro, and Rusev on his first night. I mean, and then Rollins, you know, he can't get the damn title back, no matter how hard he tries. And I think that'd be a great way for him to establish himself as the man. The #1 draft pick for Raw wins the Raw title. I love Balor. In my booking, I think Balor would win, but in the long run, I really feel like Rollins should win this title. Unless they just throw it out like it's some shitty title. If they want to make it prestigious, I wouldn't start with the guy who's been there for a month if you're looking at SummerSlam time. I would go with Rollins to win this title. That is my Raw review, guys. I'm not going to give it a rating yet because I want to save that for Raw versus SmackDown Week 1. This was a pretty long review, if I'm looking at the time right. I think it was over 20 minutes. I don't know that. I should probably start setting timers and keeping track of time when I make these things. But I don't. So I'm not going to give a rating. I'm going to save that for the Raw vs. SmackDown Week 1. Please tune into that, guys. I'm not going to be making a SmackDown review. I don't care how good SmackDown is. Okay, actually, I might make a SmackDown review. But right now, I'm going to make this video. No video for the rest of today. Tomorrow, I'll probably get Raw vs. SmackDown Week 1. Be sure to check that out, guys. My Week 0. I was expecting that to get no views at all, and it already has 30 views. Which for me is a lot. For a series that came out of nowhere and was 2 minutes long, I'm surprised it got 30 views. So I'm very happy with that. I can't wait for what Week 1's going to do. And I'm really looking forward to this series, man. I literally I bought a journal today. I'm going to keep all my reviews and stuff in it. And I just, man, me and Sasha got the journals, all the results. I'm going to be fucking Sasha Banks. Oh, yes. Anyways, guys, thank you so very much for watching this Raw review. I honestly had a blast talking about this because literally this has made me interesting in wrestling again. Of course, while if I'm a big wrestling fan, I could say that. But it's now looking back, it's been so dull. And now when I see this, all these new opportunities, all this new everywhere you go, there's something new now. You know, I think it's great. And it's making me interested in it again. I've been more dedicated to pro wrestling in this 24 hours than I have for the past months. And you know what, man, you can say, oh, he's not a real fan. But dude, come on. If you look at it, it's on top of the world right now. I can't wait to see what SmackDown's going to do tonight. I think we're going to have a new champion on SmackDown tonight. I think The Miz is going to lose his title to somebody. Maybe Dean, you know, this is what they could do for SmackDown. You know, Shane and Bryan, they're like, oh, you know what, Dean? You did so great at retaining your WWE Championship and keeping it here on SmackDown. We're going to give you a chance to win the WWE and Intercontinental Championship by facing The Miz tonight. That would be pretty big, you know? But I don't know what's going to happen, you know? I don't know how the hell SmackDown's going to top this off, but I can't wait to see it, man. It's going to be hard. Thank you guys so very much for watching, you know? Before I do that, though, I said throughout the video the 3 hours thing. I want to talk about that real quick. I love how this show was 3 hours. It didn't feel like 3 hours. And that was like one of my favorite things looking back because it felt like I was attached to the whole show. I wasn't taking piss breaks. I wasn't talking shit. I wasn't complaining. I was interested in the matches and segments that were going on. Every single one I was interested in, and that's what I loved. And, you know, it didn't feel like 3 hours. There wasn't 20 pointless segments. There was 8 meaningful segments. 8, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10, but still, you know, they didn't rush it. Everything at a meeting, you know, we had four great matches. We had great segments here, great promos. If Raw keeps this up for over a month, I will be pleased. Because usually when they do this and have a great show, it always goes to shit the next week. I don't think that's the case. This is the new era. There's competition in WWE now with themselves, and I think it's great. I can't wait for the future. I can't wait for SmackDown Live. I can't wait for Raw vs. SmackDown Week 1. I can't wait to make that. Thank you guys so very much for watching this. My name is Pipebomb City. Be sure to check my Instagram at instagram.com/PipebombCity or just at PipebombCity. Be sure to subscribe, like, and comment on this video. Thank you guys so very much for watching. My name has been Pipebomb City, and I will see you all next time.